MG, that's how we live. Okay, let's go, 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 okay, let's go.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome to another episode of 7 p.m. in Philly. And before we get started, man, I told y'all I was going to bring y'all guests. I told y'all I was going to bring y'all the best of the very best, man. And I got nothing but my brother here. And before we get started, I got to give you a little something about him. He's an entrepreneur. He is a barber, hairdresser, producer, director, Mr. South Jersey himself, Dwuan Gandy! Yeah. Make some noise, make some noise, make some noise, make some noise!
That's on fire, dog. That's on fire. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Man,
I ain't never received that ever, so I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. Yo, welcome to the pod, bro, man. It took a little bit to get you here, but we here.
Yo, blessed to be here, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful
man,
aesthetic.
Sure.
Let me first say beautiful aesthetic, beautiful ambiance, man. I love this, man. Thank you. Definitely
man.
the vibes.
Thank you, bro. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of, preparation. You know what I mean? We didn't start out with this look. It was very, very ghetto at first. But we got it together, though, man. We got it together. And this is what we have here today, man.
Word up.
Is this your first time on a pod?
No. I've done a podcast. I've been on a few other podcasts before. I also have my own podcast, but you know how it works. It can be challenging at times to get that going. But
Okay.
I like to talk, bro. I like to talk. Yeah.
Nah, same here.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
So okay. All right. So like we always do, man. Let's just get right into it, bro.
What we talking about?
All right. So we got this new app that came out, and it seems like every day there's a new app that comes out and it's just bashing us dudes and just slander and just all of it and nothing less but this app here called the T app, bro. Yeah. The T app, where is the app where women share only information on guys, whether they're cheaters, good in bed. I mean, it's just above and beyond, bro. Yeah. I don't know if you heard of it, but what's just...
Nah, so I haven't at first. Okay. But when I did my research on the app, I think this is probably the most blasphemous app that you could probably make that's like slandering a group of people. Yeah. Like it's pretty crazy. When I was doing more research I've been with my girl since high school, so I'm not really into dating culture. I just know dating culture is pretty trash today. Right. So I'm grateful that I'm not a part of that. I have to deal with that. But when I was doing my research on the app, I was like, yo, this is a mess. And how crazy. Ironic that it's called the T app. Mm-hmm. And it gave everything T.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, he gave it T
for sure.
Like a lot of it.
Yeah, it's really bad, man. And a few things, like for me, man, like the bad things. I feel like it's an invasion of privacy, man. Because for real, like dating culture. Just because you have bad experience with someone, doesn't mean that they're gonna have a bad experience with whoever that person dates is gonna have a bad experience. So for me, I just feel like it's. I get it. And I was having a conversation with my shorty, and she was like, well, it kind of protects us ladies in case the guy's a creep and all that. And I'm just kind of like, I mean, what may be creepy to me may not be creepy to you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think there was good intention. If anything, I think there was good intention maybe behind that, because I am aware that, women in today's culture, or even just in general, it can be very challenging for a woman. We in the city of Philly, like it could be really tough. Sure. So I do believe in protecting our women and just protecting women in general. So if there was any good intention on the app, I can respect that. Yeah. However, like anything that has good intention, it can easily be misled or taken down the wrong path. For sure. And that's kind of what it's been. It became a male bashing app where you were just literally ripping people apart. Right. Yeah, I just think it's kind of corny. I think it's corny more than anything. I think it's super corny. And I'm very curious to know if it's a man who created this app, because how funny that you created an app to protect women, and you actually didn't do that. If anything, you're putting them more in harm's way. Oh, absolutely. Because all of their information, ID, people can literally map you out. So for me, it's like, I think shorties need to be more aware. Like, you might have somebody that might be on you now because you put mad explicit information out there about people.
Oh, for sure.
And now you got to look with your head on a swivel. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, you just made your life harder because you just did a whole bunch of stuff on an app.
Right. So, and then there's the T app, and then there is the Are We Dating the Same Guy app. And it's not a
Facebook page.
It's a Facebook page. Yeah. And where, girls, and that's the problem I have with it, because there's certain girls that are like delusional. Certain people. I'm not gonna single out girls before they in my comment. Women.
We're not gonna generalize.
Yeah, we're not gonna. I mean, so for me, it's just like some people are just delusional, like for me, for instance, I wouldn't even call it a date. I can't even get it out. I wouldn't even call it a date. I went to Applebee's with a coworker the one time, right? Yeah. And then she seen me a little while back ago, and then she was just like, yeah, you know, when we dated. I said, huh, hold up, dated? What do you mean dated? We never dated.
Wow.
We went to Applebee's, and I would never take someone to Applebee's that I dated. Like,
right.
I would never do that.
He's like, first of all, don't play me like that.
Right, don't play me like that. Don't go to your friend and be like, oh, yeah, yo, he took me to Applebee's for our date. We dated. Yeah. No, if I took you to Applebee's, that means we're friends.
Yeah, dim lit candles at Applebee's. Come on, that don't even make sense. Like,
and so, you know, I was looking at it, I was like, yo, no, we never dated. We were just friends. We went to Applebee's. We never kissed. We never held hands. We never talked about anything explicit. None of that.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, well, we were friends. That's what friends do. You know what I'm saying? But I say that because I feel like a lot of times with these apps, things can get misconstrued, and what you may think, another person may not think. Like, oh yeah, he took me out on a date where we were just linking up to be friends. Like, yo, I thought you were cool. We had great conversation, and that's what it is. But a lot of times, some people, they get it misconstrued, and it's kind of like, nah, he was feeling me. He likes me.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also curse of being a good guy who's charismatic, that likes to just, this is how I look at it, because I used to have this problem where I feel like a lot of chicks who would assume that I liked them or wanted to pursue them would think that. And I'm going to be very respectful, but shorty, not even on your best day.
Yeah. Right.
Not even, if the sun was out, would I be taking you out? You know what I mean? But I used to tell my dad, like, why does this always happen? Like, you raised me to be a good gentleman. You raised me to be a fairly nice guy.
Right.
But he was like, listen, you got to understand, sometimes when you smile at a woman, that's the only time she's ever seeking that sense of friendliness from a man without being preyed on, or maybe she never grew up with a father who knew how to speak to her properly. So here you come, giving her eye contact, smiling, and then, and God forbid, if you do give a nice little compliment that may come across too flirty, they gonna run with that. So I've learned with myself, I think I have a natural like flirty personality, but there's nothing, like there's no meaning behind it. It's just natural. I like to make people feel good. I like to make sure everyone's straight. So I think that has been a pattern in my life, but that has always been misconstrued. So I've learned to be like, all right, bro. So I got to put a wall up. But yes, I do think people tend to feel that connection. They're like, oh my God, this is something bigger than what it is. And it's like, nah, it's really not, sis. Like,
nah, for sure. Because I think I deal with that also, where it's like, I'm super nice. I'm mad nice. I'm a nice ass dude. And it's kind of like, you know, and I understand people like to feel good. People love compliments. So if I see a girl, whatever, I'm like, oh, okay, girl, okay, you looking beautiful. What's up? How you? Whatever. And it's kind of like, oh, he likes me. Yeah. And I'm just like, nah, that's not it, sis.
Or you get the reverse. You get the shorty that's extremely like, again, who knows if she's ever received compliments, but again, you give her a compliment, and all of a sudden she think, oh my God, you better look away. Oh my, I'm scared for my life. All right, come on, yo. I was literally just being nice. So if I don't look at you, if I'm mean to you, now I'm like a woman basher, and you know, and I'm hating on women. But then if I give you a compliment, or at least, you know, show you some type of friendly attention, all of a sudden I'm thirsty. So again, that's why I've learned to just kind of chill out in my own lane and just read people very well.
For sure.
And I think that just comes with maturity as well. Though. For sure. That has to come with maturity. Yeah. And I do think a lot of males kind of lack that at times, which is why we're also kind of in this debacle with this app. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a level of maturity on both ends that, you know what I'm saying?
And, you know, man, honestly, another thing with this T app, because it's kind of like they get into the nitty gritty. They get into
the details.
The details, whether, you know, you're good in bed, or, you know, you do this or you do that. And I'm just kind of like, that's where the invasion of privacy comes in for me, because it's kind of like, everyone's different in bed, bro. Everyone's different when it comes to these type of things. So it's like, yo, for you to just disclose this, it's a little wild to me.
It's out of pocket. It's extremely out of pocket. And, you know, I haven't heard the word recently, but, you know, you hear about male male toxicity? Male toxicity and stuff like that. There's toxic femininity. Like if we're gonna call one, we got to call the other. So in this behavior, this is extremely toxic and extremely out of pocket, and it needs to be held as such. And again, that's what I said. You can't be mad that men are going to be very upset with this situation. Now, granted, for the psychopaths and sociopaths that are out of pocket, you deserve to be outed. You know, we live in a very exposing culture that they want to expose everyone for every little detail. I think that's kind of corny. But I do agree, if you have very like psychopathic, sociopathic behavior, and you make women feel uncomfortable, you get what you deserve. But if a dude's just naturally awkward or naturally just whatever, it just didn't work out, why are you taking all of this man's intimate conversations and you're just blasting it? Would you want him to do that to you? Because how would y'all act if there was an app that we was able to flame y'all?
Yeah.
You
So,
know what I'm saying?
so prior to we was talking behind the scenes, fellas, and I had an idea, and I was just like, and before this came, I had an idea, and I was just kind of like, I was talking to my homies, and I was just like, hey, what if we came with an app that was called Coochie Facts? And where it's kind of like, you get the Carfax of the woman and the person you're with. And, I wasn't going to be sexist with it. I wasn't just going to do it on the women's basis. I would do it on a man basis. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And, I was like, what if we came up with something that where you get the whole rundown? You mean whether, they're good and bad, and all that. And boom, here comes the T app beating me to the punch.
Yeah. And if you would have done that, you probably wouldn't even be here to do this podcast.
Nah.
I promise you would not be here.
Nah.
You would not be here.
Not at all. For me, what I will say, and all jokes aside, I just think it's not a realistic thing to do. And I think it takes a lot of the human out of it, like the human experience. And I think that's what social media has become. Mm-hmm. It's very like people are weird. And you have to attribute it to social media. People can't talk because it's like growing up, and I'm sure you experienced the same thing. Like you had to go out to the mall to talk to a girl. Yeah. You had to call the house phone and be like, hey, Miss Johnson, can I talk to Tiffany and so on and so forth? Yeah. And you had to learn manners and respect and how to actually
humbling beginnings.
Right.
The first time you stutter in front of a girl and she looking at you like you crazy, you got to be like, dang.
Right.
These are all human experiences that on the male side, this is what makes you from a boy to a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That preteen and teenage era is a very awkward era for a guy.
For sure.
So those should be your most learning lessons, where you should be doing the most learning. So like you said, that is where you learn to talk to females. That's how you learn to be in a room and how do you carry yourself and don't break a sweat when you get, because you get around a bunch of girls, you start sweating and, why are you sweating? I don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You learn how to maneuver and just be really chill and cool. But I remember talking to my uncles, my great uncles, my dad, my two grandfathers, about women, like how do I carry myself with charisma but smoothness, and they would give me, they would give me their old school game that didn't work, and they gave me some old school game that did work. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the fact that I was able to go to these men, a multitude of men, and they were all be able to give me their information, I could pick from them and go about it from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I say that because it's kind of like nowadays, like it's so awkward, and it's like when you create these apps, you take the part where you get to learn about the person, because you look on these apps and all the other apps, you already created this narrative in your head on who this person is.
Right.
So it takes away the genuine interaction that you would have with them on the first meet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I would assume that you're not really for like online dating culture.
No, anytime I've dated someone or I've been with someone, it's through like I was out and I met them and it was just kind of like, I like you.
Natural, organic.
Yeah, you like me.
Natural.
Cool. You can dance. Oh, we got that in common. Oh, I like your hair, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Like, and that's the like natural way of going about it. But I think it's like, and I'm not gonna shit on like these dating apps and the dating culture online, because it's like certain people they've found love. They've got it. To each his own. But for me, I feel like, and I also think it comes with a certain person. If you're an outgoing person like we are, it comes easy for us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like you're more of a introvert or so, it's harder for you to go out and just pull up and dance and boogie and a chick and be like, oh, yo, I like his vibes.
But those low-key be the smoothest guys, though. Because you have that element of being very chill, subsided, calm, relaxed. But at the same time, you know when to be social, you know when to speak. So a lot of those guys who are introverted tend to be the smoothest. Yeah. They tend to pull a lot of the women because they just have that natural nature. Now, again, we kill how we do, being extroverted. And I know when to calm down, but for the most part, we very free like that. But yeah, from what I've learned, a lot of them are just the smooth cats. They just be chilling. They know when to speak and they don't really do too much. Yeah. So, but that takes learning.
For sure.
They're not learning. This culture, these wavy kids, they rather be like, oh, I'd rather just text on my phone all day and, corny. I just feel like this era. I feel like low-key, a lot of those older generations where they used to say like our generation was, yo, your generation's no good. Yeah. I feel like I'm becoming that old man, but I don't want to be.
I am. I'm him. I'm him. That's me. I'm the old hating motherfucker. Me, him.
Yeah, it's like our good old days, and that was like, what, like 20, 30 years ago? You know what I mean? But it's still like, I do feel like the culture and dynamic in this culture is changing, and it's different from how we grew up and how we saw things. And I can see there's benefits, but there's definitely negatives. And I definitely think this is why the dating culture is trash. Sure. And I tell my girl all the time, God forbid if something happened to you, I would never remarry. Yeah. I would just be play it for real. And she was like, for real. Yeah. You play it for real. I'm not going through all that trying to invest and emotionally invest in. Nah, I'm done.
It's trash. But it's trash out here, man. I think, but we can attribute that to social media because it's kind of like before it was like I had to figure out who I was as a man. 100%. I can't just go on social media and just copycat whomever is doing whatever they're doing. I had to figure it out amongst my peers, or I had to figure it out amongst like my homies, or my older folks, like my parents, uncles, whatever. Like I had to get a little bit of game from everywhere in order to become who I was, who I am. Yeah. And nowadays it's kind of like, yo, I'm gonna open up Instagram, look up the most littest dude, and I'm gonna be him. Yeah. Instead of creating the genuine self.
And I only know this because coworkers and just women around me. I even think it's even more strange when there's certain apps that make you customize the people that you're looking for. So not only is it like, okay, in this vicinity, we'll give you these kind of people and you can go from there. Yeah. No, you can choose between blonde hair and brunette, blue eyes or green eyes or brown eyes. Like you really customizing your shorty.
Oh, for sure.
And then she ended up not being, and statistically, and I've learned this over just analyzing, just being around for 30 years, that people who have a type tend to always live their life going for a type, and that type never fulfills you. I've lived it personally, and I've heard it from experiences. It's usually the people who don't have a type, or if you learn to just embrace and enjoy people who they are and how they are, you tend to get more of a genuine connection out of them. But when you say I only go that, but again, who does this a lot too? Women. Yeah. He got to be this tall. He got to make this money. Oh yeah, He got to have this type of income. He got to do this, and I'm not accepting anything less than that. Well, this is why most of them are alone.
Short king.
Yeah. And then you wonder why you're alone though, because you're coming with this long like paragraph of what you need a man to meet, the criteria. But the moment we say, listen, we don't want you 10 over, we're how I met you. I like you to be a certain size. Yeah. Is that wrong to say? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think today's culture is just a little different. And I don't know. Like I said, I feel like it sounds like an old head, but it is what it is.
Since I'm the old hater, for me, today's culture is terrible, bro. Yeah, it's terrible. I think a lot of and I'm trying to, and I have a son, he's 15, and I'm trying to give him that happy medium to where it's like he doesn't lose his identity as a kid. But also, he's not just completely that. Like, you know, in that type of culture, that type of environment, to where he's like, yo, dog, go to a girl and go talk to her. Like, be yourself, be funny, know your worth. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, understand that, yo, listen, like, and I explained to him, like, my mistakes as a kid growing up because I never really had someone to really give me game, and I had to figure it out, like fighting over women, upset that, you know, that I don't look this way, or I need to get better gear in order for a chick to like me. And at the end of the day, and I was just like, yo, bro, at the end of the day, if someone's going to like you, they're going to like you. And it's like, yeah, you obviously, you're going to have some type of attraction or something like that. Sure. But at the end of the day, when it all boils down to it, if you a good dude, you got a good head on your shoulders, you're funny, you got a little something to you, it works. It works in your benefit. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the social media and these sites, bro, they take all of that away, man. They take all of the human experience that you would get by meeting someone out in public, genuinely, because it's kind of like, yo, I like this person. Oh, this person is cute. And I like the way they dress. I like the way they hair. I like the way they smile. You can't really do that via social media. And it's like, I used to have a type also.
Sure. Everybody did.
I used to have a type also, and I'd be like, oh, I want this, I want that, blah, blah, blah. But realistically, that's bullshit. Because at the end of the day, when you meet someone and you're kind of like, you never knew that you would actually like that type of person until you actually meet them.
That's exactly.
It's equivalent to like, yo, I don't like online shopping because I don't know how the gear gonna look until I put it on. That's Have you ever gone to shop and you look online and be like, I'll never wear that. But then you go into H&M or Zara or whatever and you put it on and be like, yo, this shit type fly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so for me, I look at it the same way when it comes to dating. You never know what you're gonna get until you actually get out there and experience it.
Yeah. And I'll say this is just like a sidebar, but I've also learned this from experience. Nobody's really ugly. Now, hear me out. No, hold on. Let me break it down.
All right, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
What I mean by that is there is somebody for somebody.
Right. Facts.
I've seen some people, they look like gargoyles, but I'm telling you, they the ones that got all the kids, or they the ones that's producing all the kids. So what I'm saying is nobody's actually ugly. There's somebody that's gonna find somebody attractive. You know, the features that I might not like on a woman, I'm telling you, somebody will praise that. Somebody will love that, and vice versa.
You're right.
So
Well,
that's what I mean.
Okay.
To us, yes, we could find people might be unattractive or less attractive. Sure. Absolutely. But what I mean by that is I've learned that like there is somebody for somebody. Ain't nobody just left out in the world alone.
For sure. But at the end
everybody want to hug at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. And you're right. But you know what? I'm gonna just leave it there.
It's too early. It's too early.
I'm gonna just leave it there.
It's 7 p.m. It's 7 p.m. Y'all.
It's too early. It's too early. We might give you the uncut version, and I might share my thoughts. But for real,
I like that.
We gonna keep it. We gonna keep it like that. Man.
We're
gonna keep it like that.
Respect.
But with this site, man, overall, man, I just think these sites.
Yeah.
They do more harm than good overall.
Yes.
And I look at it as a gossip site. I look at it as it's bashing, and I think it just takes away the human experience that we're currently going through in life. Yeah. And we're looking for a shortcut instead of going out there and meet people and say, hey, yo, this person's my type. I like this. I like that. And doing all that. We're looking for others to kind of make that judgment for us, which I think it's unfair, whether it's male or female.
Absolutely. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Preach, brother. Preach.
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
What's the next?
Oh,
man. My God.
Man,
we about to go here.
This man used to be my hero, bro. Like,
so you was a fan of wrestling?
I was.
Okay.
Big fan of wrestling.
Okay.
I was a Hulkamaniac. My parents had an Armor growing up, and I jumped off the top of it, leg dropped my parents' pillow, and I broke the bed and all that. So I was a huge wrestling fan. I paid for pay-per-views, knowing that my parents couldn't afford it.
Oh my God,
came home when they saw the bill. I got my ass beat.
100%.
That was me, man. So it's tough.
So it hurts you. It's a sore spot.
It hurts that this man passed away, and with I don't even know what the right word for it, that he carries along with him. Like pretty much, Hulk Hogan was a racist, and he died, and no one really is mourning him because he's attached to being a racist. Yeah. I mean, how do I say this? So for one, I'm not I was never a wrestling fan. I was a big fan of I am a fan of UFC. So like real Bodman beatdowns, real Bodman beatdowns. You know what I mean? That's so Caribbean of you.
Because I feel like wrestling was just always like fake. Don't get me wrong. I love the culture. I think it's super dope, and I do love the culture that captivates all ethnic groups of people, black, white, everyone. Everyone loves wrestling, so I do love that. But for me, like I said, I just grew up like in UFC. But any event, so there's not really that much of a connection or an attachment to me of his loss, other than him being a man and him having a soul. But like you said, despite on the racist aspect, it is kind of like, are we shocked though? It's 2025. At this point, I feel like any higher up, any celebrity, I feel like we should all question before bringing them in the spotlight, so we don't have these kind of situations where we're not blindsided. Now, granted, we were young. This happened back in the day. But for like here on out, why are we, the moment somebody gets a little bit of notoriety, we're so quick to praise them. We don't know nothing about this person's past. We don't know the intentions of this person. Now we're always blindsided. Oh my God, I didn't know he was a racist. Really? You should have just gave it some time. You would have found out. Yeah. It's Hulk Hogan. Come on, you know what I mean? Like, come on, brother. Right. You know what I mean? Like, he gets Republican. He gets far right. You know what I mean? Like,
we're not gonna go there.
He gets Florida Republican.
No, he does.
Tan as dark as us.
Yeah, he does. Like, the thing is, the problem that I have with it, and the part that breaks my heart is kind of like, he was our hero, as and this not just in America, around the world. And I say that because back in the 90s, I went to Haiti. I am a big Haitian. For the people that don't know, I am Haitian. And I went to Haiti, and they cannot speak a lick of English, but they knew who Hulk Hogan was. Hulk Hogan. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, damn, bro.
And like, they knew who he was. They couldn't say anything else, but they can say Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
They knew who Hulk Hogan.
Doing his moves and everything.
They knew, boy, Hulk Hogan. They knew who
the red and yellow
was,
The
bro.
red and yellow.
And, you know, that just goes to show you, because it's like in Haiti back in the 90s, not everybody had TVs.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody there was no social media. There was no way for this man from America to, like, get over there without, like, him being an icon.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
it just goes to show you this man was a legend.
Yeah.
And it sucks that this is how he goes out. Because had he had not been a flat out racist, Hulk Hogan, everyone in the world would be mourning Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely.
Equivalent to what? Queen Elizabeth or whoever the
More than
queen.
We didn't even give a damn about Queen Elizabeth.
Well,
she over on the other side of the pond. But yes, I get what you're saying though. He would have got a lot of praise.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because, and I even say this, like, there's no level of racism. However, the stuff he said was, so we're not, so people aren't just like, oh my God, black people crying, you know.
Yeah.
No, the stuff he said was outlandish.
It was ridiculous.
Ridiculous to even say. And he boastfully said it. And like, you get what I'm saying? So like, we're not even trying to say like, oh, he just used it once or he slipped. No, he said some pretty outlandish things. And, you know, his family even was broken up by it. His daughter was never close to them. I don't even think she went to her funeral. So yeah, there's a lot of things that transpired from that event, multiple events. So yeah, I just don't think, but that's the power of exploitation, I feel like. And I'm not saying just necessarily him. These people who are in power, if they realize that I can make money off you and I can make money off you and I can have you praise me so much that you don't even see my true intentions. So I can be a flat out racist and yet make millions off of you. Right. It happens in the rap community all the time. Look at all the record labels versus the artists. Yeah. They not black, unfortunately, the record labels. They're making but they're profiting. And you clearly see their intentions because who do they pick and who they promote to put the music out into the world? Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, facts,
so like this is just one event, but it's all over. It's ran everywhere. Exploitation is real. So yeah, they'll find a way to exploit all the time. But yeah.
For me, and I'm going to ask you a question. Yeah. But and we do it all the time. We separate the artist from the person. Mm-hmm. I don't give him a pass, and I would not give him a pass because, like, you know, if you're a racist, that means you don't like me. So if you were to see me, you would say, hey, I don't like you because you're black. Sure. Pretty much. Sure. But in this situation, do we separate that? Or can people separate that from, like, you know, like, yo, because we do that. Sure. In certain situations, kind of like, you know what? He be doing whatever X, Y, Z, and that ain't got nothing to do with me. I just like the music.
Yeah, that's definitely double-sided because, for example, I love Kanye. Yes. And Kanye is...
And he's the perfect example who I was just about to bring up.
Out of pocket. Capital out of pocket.
Yes.
And I've in so many times, in so many conversations and debates and dialogues, I'm always defending him. But at this point, I feel like I can't even defend him anymore. So,
not at all.
So where I'm at now at the age of 30, I feel like I love purity and authenticity so much, and I carry that, or at least I try to within myself and the people around me so much that I no longer separate the art from the artist. I don't. Maybe growing up as a kid, I definitely have, because we idolize more as kids, right? So you can hear them. If we were 13 and heard about Hulk Hogan with this stuff, it would still affect us. But at the same time, we're still young. Our minds is everywhere else. We probably would still give him that. But we're older now. Yeah. So for me personally, that's for anybody, not even just Hulk Hogan, anybody from here on out. Because I carry myself like that. I personally am not separating the art from the artist because without the artist, you're not getting the art. And without the art, there would be no artist. So you really can't split the two.
I get it. And that's a great way of putting it. I never actually looked at it like, for me, it's just kind of like if you do some fucked up stuff, I'm good off you. Yeah. I'm good.
I'm like black people. I don't know other cultures. My bad, Zach. I just know from our culture, we tend to do that. The whole R. Kelly thing that happened, that was crazy. But I feel like more people was playing In the Name of Love at cookouts more than ever.
For sure.
And it's just like, all right, is this out of pocket? Yeah. Should we be doing this? Because this is like on TV right now. Yeah. This is crazy.
It is. And it's like, for me, it's like, for instance, Bill Cosby. I love the Cosby Show, bro. I mean, I'm all about Bill Cosby.
Come on.
And it's kind of like, I feel guilty watching it, but it's like at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I grew up on this. Like, this is who this person was to me. Sure. And, but I guess, and can we say this? Is it because that it's a black person? Because kind of like, we're gonna give him some grace.
Yes. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Okay. I think naturally, it would be more, at least for me, from my point of view, to give more grace, or at least be like, let me get more of the facts before the news puts it out.
Yeah.
Because I think we're so used to seeing black people be teared down a lot quicker than white people.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
I think for us, or at least for me, my point of view, my mindset, I'd be like, before I hear this news, not that I'm just going to completely disregard it, but let me get more of the facts before I make my own assessment. I think any intelligent person should do that. You should never take anything as face value.
Yeah.
And you should never just disregard anything. You should always like assess it. Let me break this down. Let me do some chemical work and get my own viewpoint of it.
Yeah.
So yes, I do believe for me with black people, like with every black person that has been in the scandal, I've always been like, let me get some more of the facts, and then I can make my assessment. And some of them I can rock to, some of them I can't.
Yeah.
If the Cosby Show come on, I'm not gonna turn it off. I might turn it down. You know what I mean? Because come on, the intro was fire.
Of course.
All the intros, like all the intros are fire,
Yeah.
and it's Philly native, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on. But all seriousness though, yeah, I personally would be more willing to give a pass. But again, as I'm older, and I don't have kids right now, but if I have kids, I think I need to also lead by example. So I would also teach my kids that. So for me, yeah, I would make my assessment and break it down from there.
Yeah. All right. Well.
But yeah, I think we are guilty. Black people are definitely guilty of that. I don't know other cultures, but we definitely guilty of that.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure. And you know, one thing that this kind of brings it full circle for me, and this kind of like makes me look at, I think we live in a society where we worship all these people. And I think we need to be careful of the people that we worship.
I'm glad you said
and
that.
the people that we look up to. Because, for instance, like, you know, Hulk Hogan, Bill Cosby, the list goes on and on. Diddy, for instance, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are our heroes. These are like our black heroes and the heroes that we had. And it's kind of like it seems like now that I'm getting older, every person that was our hero, that we looked up to, done let our asses down.
Bro, they be doing the most craziest, outlandish, heinous stuff. Yeah. And like you said, we had posters of them on our wall. We grew up listening to their music. Yeah. It's hardship. It sucks. But I think that's the curse of celebrityism. And that's why I also think celebrityism is on a decline. Hence why all these celebrities are being outed. We've heard of scandals back in the day. But back in the day, our parents and our great-grandparents and all of them, I just don't think not that they didn't care. I just think they didn't have the power to really and I don't believe in cancel culture, but I think they definitely didn't have the power like we do to really affect someone's income. You get what I'm saying? So now when you hear these celebrities taking such a big hit due to what they say or what they've done in the past, we could easily be like, I'm cutting their music off. And guess what? If we cut their music off, they gonna feel that. Yeah. This is why a lot of them jumping on streaming now. Yeah. Because they realize the music industry ain't it no more. Right. So they rather sit there next to Castanet rather than making some good music, because we need some music, y'all. We need some good music. What's up with y'all? Facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, that's my viewpoint on it. Yeah, I think celebrityism is coming down because I think a lot of people are just sick and tired of the patriarchy and in that of just these higher ups are just given so much due to their success, and a lot of it is hard work, so it's well deserved. That's capitalism. But at what point are you just taking way so much from we the people? Yeah. Us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are contributing. It's because of us that, again, you are up there. You get to enjoy that lavish lifestyle from all the records you sold from us consuming it. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, don't forget, it's we that got you there. Yeah. And the same could be us. I mean, when we blow up, we could be in the same position. For sure. You get what I'm saying? For sure. So, yeah. Yeah.
But I also say, and this is what brings it full circle, because it's like, you know, talking about social media and the T-app, I feel like social media is to attribute to that. Because now it's kind of like, we've been heard like Diddy, you know, was gay and he did this and slept with that person, blah, 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 blah. But we heard that, but we heard it through a cousin or an auntie or, you know what I mean, at the barbecue. It's like, I know Diddy. I went to one of his parties. Like, hey, he gay. Like, that's where we heard it from. Yeah. But now social media and everything exposes it, and it's kind of like, this fact. It could have been the equivalent to maybe back in the day, people knew Hulk Hogan was a racist. Yeah. But there was no way of actually putting it out there.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel like it's deserved to be exposed? Or do you think it's better that if it's just, some people might be like, hey, turn a blind eye. Some people rather not know. So what do you think?
I think if you're a horrible human being and you're doing things to hurt society, because I felt like you're being fake. You're not who you are. And by being this celebrity, you come into this industry or to this world with I'm pure, I'm good. Everything that I sell you on is good. You're lying. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Bill Cosby, you came to the Cosby Show as this father that did everything right, never did anything wrong. Behind the scenes, he was drugging bitches. He was wild. You know what I'm saying? I mean, definitely. I mean, wild. But it's the same thing with Hulk Hogan. You came in, eat your cereal, brother, and the Hulkamania and all that. Meanwhile, you didn't like half of the people that were supporting you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the list goes on and on and on. So my thing is kind of like, if you're not who you're putting out there, I don't think you deserve that.
Thank you.
Because you're entering this as it's false. It's this false narrative and this false person that you're putting out there, and it's kind of like, yo, behind this camera, when the camera's shut off, we're still who we are.
Yeah.
We're still the same people. You're not gonna see me out in the street and be like, yo, Steve, I thought you were cooler than what you always see me on camera. No, I'm the same cool Steve, and I'm cool. Yeah. So you mean
that's a fact.
so at the end of the day, it's the same thing with celebrities. Like, yo, bro, don't be this way in front of the camera, but behind the camera, you're an asshole.
Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't sell an image. Like if you're going to be, to me, if you're going to be a racist and own that. Because I would rather know that you are,
Yes.
so at least I know where the line is at.
Right.
Don't smile in my face, meet and greet. Oh, we got to have the kids come over, and then you stab me in the back. I don't like that. I'd rather know where you're at. Right. So I would prefer that kind of racism. Let me know where you at, so I can know where I'm at. Right. We cool from there.
Yeah.
Selling an image, I think, is just kind of, that's where it gets messy. So again, if you're known, I'm trying to think of an artist or somebody who just is mad organic and just keeps it raw, but like, it's harder to get caught up on stuff if you just come straight out the gate, just mad natural. Like, this is what it is. These are my viewpoints. This is kind of how we keeping it thorough like this. The same way we talking now, 15 years from now, we blown up and we doing this out in Bora Bora somewhere, and we still gonna be talking like this. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm gonna stand on that, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable and vice versa. Yeah. But yeah, I think the moment you try to sell an image or be propositioned to sell an image, now you gotta hold yourself to that image. Yeah. And the more you get money, you feel more freedom. So I feel like it's easier to be sold an image and live in an image when you have a certain amount of income and freedom. Yeah. But when you get a large amount of money, can't nobody tell you nothing.
Right, you feel invincible.
You be like, I'm gonna say whatever I want now.
Right.
I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Right.
So I agree. Yeah, so I stand by that.
Yeah. For me, and I agree with you. For me, it's the closet racism that I don't.
Corny.
It's like
2025. Just keep it.
It's like, yo, bro. It's like when you see these dudes like the Proud Boys and KKK, and they're still wearing masks. They go, bro. Just why are you wearing the mask? Because you're afraid of the backlash that you're getting. And because you also know you're doing something wrong. Yeah. Anytime you're in the closet doing something, it's because you feel like you're doing something wrong. Yeah. So at the end of the day, that's the problem that I have. If you're going to be racist, fine, go ahead and be racist. It's all good.
It's not going to go nowhere.
It doesn't.
It's never going to leave. So, yeah.
Right. So my thing is like, do that. I know where you at. I'm not coming to your house. I'm not embracing you. I'm not showing you love because I know you don't like me.
Where we stand.
And I know where we stand. So at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, I think everyone needs to be held accountable for their actions. And if you're not entering the game or entering this platform with who you really are, I think you should get called out on that. Yeah. For sure.
And I'll personally leave it with this on this topic with Hulk Hogan. I think, and I'm gonna speak to black people on this from our point of view. I feel like one of the coolest things, I'm sorry, Zach. I feel like one of the coolest things is to be down with us, right? I feel like when we're dancing or having a party, having a good time, and that white boy starts dancing or that white girl starts dancing, the moment we say, yeah, girl, yeah, boy, I've had white friends even tell me like, bro, there's no better feeling than feeling acceptance. Absolutely. I think we are so gifted at that, but I think that's also our curse, clearly. Yeah, for sure. Clearly. But I think that's such a beautiful thing that I think God has given us, or the Most High, whoever has given us. It's an essence of who we are, that we naturally, as much as, especially African Americans, we have always been excluded nationwide and worldwide, but yet we are also the most inclusive people. Yeah. From what we've been through all throughout history, we are the most inclusive people. So I think we should definitely be more reluctant and be just a little more hesitant before just giving all of your money and just praise to these people. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mic drops.
Yeah.
Bang. Black people, listen, baby.
Right.
Listen.
She.